should have told you guys this stuff long time ago, but I forgot to mention that my friend Mandela Effect Comedy brought stuff to my attention, like the whole Keck thing, and also a bunch of stuff about clones and Wendy Williams falling. And so Mandela Effect Comedy, thank you. Woo-hoo-hoo. Yeah, thanks, buddy. And I encourage everyone to check out Mandela Effect Comedy's channel and subscribe. All right, let's get down to business. By now, I'm sure you've all seen Wendy Williams' weird fainting spell. Here it is.
Our first caress.
So there's a bunch of interesting things that happen here. So her eyes and nostrils seem to, well, I'm just going to say it, shapeshift into, I mean, her eye looks like a square sort of shape there. And there seems to be a voice that I guess says contestant number 1, but it sounds like it says we're testing a new one. So my friend Mandela Effect Comedy was nice enough to put that soundbite into his sound program. This is what we got. Now, I'm not saying that that's what that off-camera voice was trying to say, but I just feel like it's kind of a message either way. So, see how she shakes and she reaches for her head? She looks terrified. That's not what overheating would do, but there's been lots of fainting. Like, you remember when Hillary's weird fainting scare where they threw her in the van? And if you remember a long time ago, there was George Herbert Walker Bush's weird sushi scare. I don't know why you would put a napkin over his face like Barbara Bush does there. And then you remember Petraeus had the weird fainting spell. McCain's face looks like it's, well, shape-shifting. I don't know. It's got this huge lump coming out of it. It's weird. All these are pretty weird, admittedly. But they have certain characteristics that are similar to our Wendy Williams weirdness. Like, take this reporter, for instance. So she completely falls off this riser. But you see this reporter with the microphone, this guy here, light purple shirt, he doesn't even react to this girl. He keeps on interviewing people. What's up with that? There are a lot of inappropriate reactions in these videos from people, but let's go back to the slurring.
But despite that awful cost,
as the Minnesota governor delivered his state address. After speaking for nearly 45 minutes, Governor Mark Dayton's words started to slur.
But despite that awful cost.
Seconds later, the governor collapses at the podium.
He doesn't collapse as much as he headbutts face first the podium.
But despite any policy differences, the national security lawyers in this administration acted professionally and in good faith. And the country is safer as a result.
Siren is intense, and I would love to go against her and do what I need to do to.
There's some that make this noise like they're an engine trying to restart.
I'm chatting too. We'll try to answer your questions.
And do what I need to do to go around the women and do what I need to do. So.
You okay? You sure?
What do you reckon is going through Rocket's mind?
Look, hopefully he can get through that, and he'll get through it, and he'll get through it today.
Violent jerking downwards and repeating speech is seen a lot.
Starting today, we have a collegiate challenge. It's open to any college. any college, so.
This guy standing there with his hands in his pockets, that's an odd reaction. I would expect it from a child, maybe, but not an adult man. A clone or a robot, maybe. And this gentleman on the left is about to fall, and he's one of the noisemakers. But also, the people don't have appropriate reactions. Are they clones too?
I'm not quite sure what Simon's doing there. Is he okay? I think he's not okay. Simon is not okay.
His foreign minister falls on his face in the middle of a press conference, takes down the podium. In 2015, BMW CEO Harold Kruger had a backpedal collapse.
Tradition und Moderne. Jüngster Beweis ist der Brace. Auch der
And as he falls, he immediately grabs his head. So it seems to be a lot of media people, CEOs, influential people, powerful people. This guy also, he looks around like there's somebody that's not there. Maybe he hears something. It's like he heard or saw something. There's a thing called third man syndrome where it's a fight or flight thing and your brain needs to make up a person as if it's talking to you, like to say, get out of this burning building right now, in times of trauma. So something can trigger that, I'm sure. It's almost like these people hear or see somebody else there. Like this guy, he looks around and says, "Y tú?" Like, and you?
I figured that would never happen without the preparation we had training the team.
Some of them, like this astronaut, jerk downwards really hard, and that's just disturbing to watch. She gets back up and tries again.
Boy, if that's not a little embarrassing. But so I don't get people worried standing up here too long. And so I figure I could stand here standing enough.
This is one of the examples of, it's like she is programmed to keep going. Her objective is to keep doing this speech at all odds. I also decided to include these people who lose their ability to talk correctly.
Well, a very, very heavy debatation tonight. We had a very Darrison fight. Let's go to Terry's and those for the bit. They have the pit.
Ohio and Wyoming to join Florida's suit. The states claiming the exorcist saw unto Sriracha and play Bringritz by health urgent.
Did she say, like, exorcist in there somewhere? Also, can somebody explain to me why it says Corinthians up there? Anyway, the breakdowns, we'll call them, are absent of the self-preservation aspect, and what trumps that, if I can use that word, is their objective, which seems to be programmed.
O Gil não tem conseguido o tempo parceiro suficiente. A gente vai para rápido intervalo, daqui a pouquinho voltamos aqui com Rodada Fox.
Now, Defense Minister McLeod did confirm today that more than 54 18 fighter jets are spending about as much as 20 and ready to assist the 100 deployed over the amount needed. Now, it did depend that how the NOLAN remerges RN, while the university or the UN mission as whole received support from all batteries in the hues of the garbins of today.
This next one is interesting because he holds on real tight to the podium. Could be a seizure, but the governor footage earlier of the man hitting his head on the table, his face, he held on real tight to his notebook, which could imply they have a programmed task to perform. This gentleman acts like it's no big deal after he faints and takes the podium down. Then he's like, what? What? It's almost like they're programmed to finish a task. You don't have to be a computer to be programmed. The human mind is very programmable, and they've figured that out for sinister means, but glitches.
Bueno, en cuanto a las demandas y a las demandas.
Acabamos de tener un problema en vivo. Nuestra entrevistada tuvo un problema claramente de salud.
민감한 모습을 나타내면서 Dershanelerin kapatılma kararına İstanbul Pendik Milli Eğitim...
Jetzt mal mach. Also okay, wollen Sie gleich ans Expertentelefon gehen, Herr Ohm? Um Gottes Willen. Warte.
Na zemlji kisiku, bez njega ne...
ja se izvinjavam. Koji
This girl doesn't react either to her coworker fainting nor the set falling apart around her. And that's clone-tastic.
Utah Nordic Alliance of Utah, and you guys are teaching me how to cross-country ski, so give us some bass. Okay. Yes. Now I'm going to toss it back to you guys. I just slipped and fell.
Sunday into Monday, we are looking out for a lot. We are looking out for...
Don't anybody rush in to help her.
They wanted to do, you know, everything on, but, you know, it's...
You okay? Okay.
All right, so let's take a look at the King of Pop here in this pretty rare footage of him continuously collapsing on stage. When the guy comes to get him, it's like he's like, oh yeah, I'm performing. He just goes on with his programming. It's indicative of MK Ultra or some sort of manipulative mind control. It's very real, and it's apparently been used on probably all of our influential people throughout time by the quantum infiltration. But this is interesting how MJ continuously is exhausted looking, and he falls down so many times, but then they kind of just go get him, and he starts singing and dancing before he's even really standing up. It's very telling. I don't know why they'd have a glass wall, but apparently he rammed into a glass wall, then this happened. Maybe Justin Bieber running into this supposed glass wall in the middle of a concert is cover because he passed out. There's just no reason why all these young and healthy people who work out and eat right, they have personal trainers and nutritionists, it doesn't make sense why they're all shaking, fainting, and violently falling down with no self-preservation. I understand the show must go on, right? But if somebody's health is threatened, is in danger, the show should stop, at the very least for that person. The fact that nobody, including the person fainting, seems to be wanting to do that is frankly inconsistent with natural human behavior. It seems like a programmed thing.
Since 1938, they've been making clone people. There's 8 countries making clones. If I start talking about cloning too much, the people that get involved into that disappear on it. So I don't go into too many more details. If you go to the hospital today and get an encephalogram, what's that? That's the memory of your conscious mind. It's on the CD. Let's download it on this being. Now we got a walking, talking duplicate.
Okay, it's like Blade Runner, the android.
Exactly. Sometimes you have glitches in it, so you have to have them tuned up occasionally or redone. And so we take them to Camp David, or there's a wing at Bethesda Hospital to just tell you. If you go down there and check, you'll find the nurses, if they're willing to come forth, they'll tell you they work on those people, and they call them the others. I thought it was interesting. They're people. Remember, these people can think and act, but they don't have soul. That's also prophesized. Soulless beings.
That's true.
We basically show up in 2 different arenas. We have the medical device arena that utilizes the product for validation and origination. This type of validation was previously done often with animal tissues. They would take, porcine tissue and do a test mechanically for the nature of the way that the device interacts with it. We have products from laminated tissues like skin, skin, fat, muscle, fascia planes, muscular bodies, and luminal structures like vessels. The other part of the business is actually the simulation side, the patient placement side, where you would want to know how to position the body itself, what to do, where it needs to go, how to access it, which is just like the initial thing early stage students in medical programs. Neurosurgery, things where you have complex neurovascular structures you would be trying to approach surgically with microsurgical tools or a microsurgical robot. The product itself is actually a full-fledged simulator for just about everything you would want to do medically, where you actually take a patient CT or MRI and then you can take it and turn it into a solid model, and from it then build a soft tissue analog that can be accessed multiple times. This is our Syndaver synthetic human. This one in particular is named Steve.
So yeah, they name all of their cadavers at this place called Sin something. It's short for synthetic, but hey, everything has double, triple meanings. It's layers and layers of meanings. Oh boy. So these synthetic humans, Google has actually slightly better technology that I've seen, but I'll put that in another video. I got to do a whole video on Ray Kurzweil. But suffice to say, we pretty much have the technology to make entire human beings synthetically or biologically. And that's kind of a scary power, like we can speculate what all this fainting is, but if this is just a case of mismanagement of clones. This is the voice of Dr. Peter Beater, who coined the phrase organic robotoid.
Research has been underway for many years in biological synthesis, that is, artificial life forms.
During the late 70s, Dr. Beater recorded several tapes about how organic robotoids, synthetic people, were being made and programmed and basically put in place of very influential people like politicians. He thought it was all the Russians behind it. I think it was the quantum infiltrators.
It looks and acts exactly like a human being, and yet it is not human. A robotoid is alive in a biological sense, but it is an artificial life form. Robotoids respond to conventional routine medical tests in the same way as humans do. They eat, they drink, they breathe, they bleed if cut, and they can be killed. Robotoids can also think, but they think only in the sense that a computer thinks. Like any other computer, the brain of a robotoid has to be programmed for each assignment it is given. Organic robotoids are remarkable creatures, but they have many drawbacks. They don't grow or reproduce, but must be manufactured one by one in the desired form. They also have a very limited lifespan, measured in months or even weeks, depending upon how they are utilized. This is due to the fact that their metabolism, while it resembles that of humans, is very inefficient. A robotoid can be manufactured on very short notice, a matter of hours. But after a few weeks or months, it suddenly begins to degenerate physically and mentally. When that takes place, the robotoid has to be removed from service and disposed of. To extend its useful life as much as possible, a robotoid is customarily cooled down to slow its metabolism between assignments. Organic robotoids are extremely expensive, troublesome creatures to produce and utilize. And robotoid capabilities do not exceed those of human beings. All they can really do is simulate human beings. But, my friends, for intelligence purposes, that's all they have to do. To produce an organic robotoid, it is necessary to have a pattern to go by. The pattern required is that of genetic coding, taken from a few cells from the body of a human being. Technique sounds like cloning, but the technique itself is totally unrelated to genuine cloning. A robotoid is produced within a matter of hours, and it simulates the human donor at his current age. Like any man-made copy of anything, a robotoid is never a perfect copy of the human that is to be simulated. There's always small discrepancies in appearance and behavior, but these are seldom great enough to arouse any suspicion.
So what is your name?
My name is Sally. What's your generation?
How old are you? My name is Dion.
Closer to humans than ever before.
Oh, wow. How old are you?
377 days.
Just 377 days before. So what is your name?
My name is Sally. What's your generation?
How old are you? My name is Dion.
Closer to humans than ever before.
Oh, wow. How old are you?
377 days.
Just 377 days before.
Now I'm just presenting information here. You be your own judge. There's a lot of information that suggests there's some weird stuff going on. So I invite you to take a look at these fainting people and see how you feel about it. I personally find it extremely disturbing.
Poštovani gledatelji, u Zadru će ovo biti zasigurno večer za pamćenje.
It's in Bournemouth East and Bournemouth West. Now, I'm not feeling... Oh, God.
Konuyu değiştirebileceksiniz.
Mesela? Ay Nuray ne oldu? Let's take a closer look.
Well, in some...
Oh my God! We told people about a few weeks ago. Are you all right?
We're to live for God. And
pelailemaan tätä peliä.
Well, Zane, there's one quick point I'd like to make today, and that is about the second issue that we have been representing.
Take a look at the scary moment.
Also seems sort of day to night-ish. Like
Absolutely.
she looks great during the day, but she could put on some. I mean, she's wearing heels.
Yeah, or like
real heels.
or a statement earring.
You all right? You okay?
No.
You sure? She's not. Here, come on, walk with me.
Okay.
Walk with me. I got you. I got you.
Burada bir boşluk var. Tam zamanıdır niyetiyle geldiğini asla düşünmüyorum. Yani bunun hem kendisi...
And that was #1 in Australia and New Zealand. So, yeah.
Brilliant. From 1981, The Lost Scroll, it's out there. All right, Alex, we might come back to you if
Oh, we've kind of lost you there.
Maybe these organic robotoids, if you will, are forgetting to eat and drink, and that's why they fall out. I mean, because all they're programmed to do.
Sono praticamente posto. Scusate, ma io non sto bene, sto per svenire, non ce la faccio più.
The hemlines and the sexy back. This is a takeoff from the movie American Hustle, like 70s inspired.
Okay, I see that. The 70s look right there. I can see that. We've got a little bit of high heel issues, which happens sometimes.
Estoy con un bajón de presión. Voy a pedir que me den un poquitito de azúcar. Por favor.
Ella se está colgando de nuestra imagen porque ella no es nada aquí, ¿no? Entonces, que se dedique a bailar.
¡Ay! Oye, ¿qué pasó? ¿De verdad te desmayaste o es un show? ¿De verdad?
¿Qué pasa, Katy?
And the health care for children was assigned a much lower priority. Do we have a doctor here with us?
Doctor. Hold on a minute. Sir, can somebody help me?
Jim. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Here. You okay?
Okay, I'm gonna sit you down.
Gotcha.
Can I get a chair?
Yeah, get a chair. Take some water. What happened?
That doesn't innovate stagnates. It's that, ladies and gentlemen, that's a sad note to end this on. We have a doc here. It's a shame the man that made all this possible, so I'm sorry to end.
I will tell you is there is one there. Oh, God.
Is this morning's invocation. Let us pray. Father in heaven, we ask for your presence today as we celebrate. We thank you for the life and service of Colonel Bennett. 1st Aviation Brigade has prospered under his leadership.
Whose parents found your way to America. And we have to say, Barack Obama and Joe Biden are our future. This is our election. This is our country, and we are going to take it back and move it forward. Thank you, and God bless you.
No idea how we are just at the beginning of this and how this technology can spread across America. Believe it or not, I held $1 million nano satellite. What are you out here? We need some help here. This gentleman's in distress. Probably needs some water. Bring him some water. It's hot in here. Now the rest of you back away and don't bother him. He'll be fine, I think.
Plenty of money to put this country to work. We need a doctor here. This lady fainted in the heat. Let's give her some water. It's hot out here. Is there a doctor here? All right, we got a doctor. There's nothing the rest of you can do, so pay attention to me. You'll just get in the way. Rarely does a lady faint on me. It's paid for by letting the tax cuts on the wealthiest of Americans expire and by proven cost savings in the health system that everybody agrees are there. It'll work, and it's very important. It's hot up here. Okay. You guys got a question? Anybody here have a question?
I urge all
Yes,
victims of this tragedy to go to the FBI website and to register on the victim assistance line. take it. Wait. Pause. Is there a doctor here? Call 911. Call. Hold on. Time out.
To free families from the pervasive fear that one illness. There you go. You okay? I'm right here. I got you. Yeah. No, you're okay. This happens when I talk too long. You'll be okay. Here, why don't you go? You got it? Yeah. Come on. So let me summarize here. The American Jobs Act will lead to new jobs for construction workers, jobs for teachers, jobs for veterans, jobs for young people, jobs for the unemployed. It will provide tax relief for every worker and small business in America. Back in 1908, somebody faint. Do we have a EMT here? Right down here. Just give him a little bit of space. This happened during my political campaign all the time. I was talking too long. People would be falling out every which way. They're usually fine. They just need a little bit of air and a little bit of water. Right down here, right in the middle. Not you. You're doing fine. Right in.
Now you heard him say it. This was not the first time someone has fainted.
Like somebody might have fainted up here. If we got some of the EMS, somebody. Don't worry about. Folks do this all the time in my meetings. I mean, you always got to eat before you stand for a long time. That's a little tip, but they'll be okay. Just make sure that give them a little room. New Hampshire. Oh, okay, we'll be all right. They probably were just standing too long. Just give them a little space. Where's our EMS folks? They'll be okay. Just give them a little space. Anybody here, if you lost your job right now, and after the Cobra ran out, looks like we got somebody who might have fainted down there. So if we've got a medic. No, hold on. I'm talking about there's somebody who might have fainted right down here. So if we can get a medic just back here. They're probably okay. Just give her or him some space. So let's just think about if you lost your job right now.
And that's what the second part of this prep rally is about. It's about rallying when things go wrong.
An aptly named speech. This whole speech is really weird.
She's okay. It's okay. That happens to a lot of people who have to stand up for a long time. We need one of our medics here. We've got a young girl who fainted. But it happens all the time. She's going to be okay.
How is Michelle Obama suddenly a doctor and can verify that this little girl is going to be okay?
Sometimes standing up. If anybody is starting to feel tired, standing up, bend your knees and eat your breakfast and lunch. You okay? Make sure she's okay too, right here. Right here. Everybody else feeling okay? Are y'all still fired up and ready to go? Are you listening to me? Do you hear what I'm telling you? Because I'm giving you some insights that a lot of rich kids all over the country, they know this stuff, and I want you to know it too.
I have to make a decision as President of the United States as to what is best. I'm sorry, what's going on? Somebody's not feeling good? All right.
What is it? All right, we need a doctor. A doctor. We have a doctor. A woman fainted. $21 trillion. Oh, We have a woman just fainted. Okay, take your time. Take your time. Do we have a doctor? Doctor? We have? Okay, take your time.
There is also an extremely important
Are you okay?
yes.
Hold on, hold on, hold on. Hold on, you'll be fine. Hold on. There we go. Okay.
I feel like this girl might be the same girl or same pattern, as Dr. Beater would say, as this girl. A little younger, but I feel like they could be the same girl.
हर जिले संगठन में 4 महिलाओं को जगह दी जाएगी। क्या इस कदम से आपको लगता है कि 2017 का जो विधानसभा चुनाव है मुलायम सिंह और वहाँ कुछ महिलाएं वो पानी लेकर आ रहे हैं लगातार ये जो बैठक।
So here she refuses water. I've seen a few of them do that, and then there's more glitchy, possible EMP shape-shifting. I don't know, just strange anomalies in the footage.
रिलैक्स हैं अभी आप? क्या अचानक क्या हो गया?
नहीं कुछ नहीं क्योंकि इतना गर्म था इसलिए थोड़ा सा तबीयत खराब हो गई लेकिन अब एकदम ठीक है कोई दिक्कत नहीं।
Those weird glitches reminded me of this footage of Obama, which is super creepy, but I mean, I guess kind of irrelevant. I just wanted to point that out. Moving on.
Well, bad news for the Obama administration. We have this new CNN ORC poll, which is quite a turnaround in.
Brian, thank you so much. And for all of you on Twitter who are asking if I'm okay, thank you so much. I got a little hot and I passed out for a moment. I am fine. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back.
So this is Treasuries. You all right?
I'm passing out.
Okay. Are you okay? You want to hang on?
Passing out.
Okay. Why don't you want to sit down?
Gone.
Okay. All right. Oh. You okay? Okay. Somebody help him, please. Somebody help. We'll be back in just a second.
Should we go to war? I'm Scott Baker.
You all right?
So this girl is giving a speech and she passes out, takes the podium down. This is just a reverse angle. But once again, no self-preservation. And that's a very basic human instinct. She refuses water about 3-4 times before they finally force her. She wanted to finish the speech. This girl who faints, she's over by the wall. The reaction of this gentleman who's giving the speech, very childlike to me. Very, just doesn't really know what to do, doesn't really know what would be appropriate, then thinks, oh, well, yeah, hey, everybody, we'll adjourn.
Fainted just a few feet away. Prince Charles and his wife Camilla seemed concerned. How did the Queen react? Have a look.
It will work for a successful transition in Afghanistan and will work towards a comprehensive nuclear agreement with Iran. The United Kingdom will lead efforts to prevent sexual violence.
You might have heard that thump. We're not sure the Queen did, though, but she kept reading as if nothing happened.
Initially, a really bright start. By the afternoon, though, we're going to be seeing outbreaks of rain, temperatures at around 8 or 9 degrees. I'm so sorry, I'm going to faint.
Oh, Rachel.
Oh dear. Quick, chaps, if we could go and sort Rachel out there.
We need to just have a check on Rachel there.
I'm sure that
while we do,
she's being looked after, so don't worry about that. Rachel will be absolutely fine. She's just having a little moment.
And we work against the natural flow to expand our common space.
Her speech slowed as though she was having difficulty reading.
This and the
The next moment she began to fall forwards onto the podium, her head grazing the microphone.
Fighters would like to take the fight to Baghdad. They'll have the 1st Cavalry Division waiting for them and looking forward to their arrival.
Good afternoon, I'm your meteorologist William Acton.
bringing you your weather, whether you like it or not. Now for your Viper Storm Tracker 3000. We had some pretty significant rainfall for Wednesday. We'll start out with 2.5 inches in Aldine, 2.5 in Humble, 2.5 in the Jersey Village, and 1.5 in Houston. You can expect some more rain.
The president of Portugal fainted during a speech to the country's military.
I wouldn't say this dude exactly fainted as much as all his dudes rushed up to him and carried him off the stage.
Yes, testing.
And I'm feeling a little...
Well, I know. I felt that way many... hold on just a moment. We'll be back in just a moment.
It was live television with a fastly fading studio audience for the Phil Donahue Show today.
Combination of the lights, the possible anxiety of live television, and the heat caused one woman to faint, and then 4 others fainted.
Our viewers are entitled to know that we've lost another one.
So yeah, I'm gonna have to end it there, and I already have a part 2 because I have so much of this footage. It's kind of insane how much I found, and it seems like as soon as I started looking for it, because I came across this several months ago, but I don't know what's going on. I can only speculate, but it does seem like, I don't know, there's weird stuff. And I think we have to open the very real possibility that some people that we know as people might actually be synthetically made, I don't know, humans. I think it's very possible that everyone of influence is controlled in this manner. I think it's very possible that their families and all the people that come to watch their speeches are controlled in this same manner. And the thing that gives it away, besides the glitches, is that, well, they have zero self-preservation. Their task comes before their well-being, their health. They're not concerned about it. They're holding on tight to their podiums and stuff. And anyway, yep, stay tuned for part 2, you guys. I might do a couple other videos in between, though, because this fainting stuff kind of freaks me out. But much love to everybody. Thank you guys for watching. Mwah! See you next time.